All right. I think we're live. How's everybody? Hopefully my audio is okay. Not too loud, too quiet. Oh, hey, Rum Race. How are you? Welcome. So we're gonna unbox the Infimech 3D, the infamous tape job here. So audio's good. Okay, good. Yeah, this thing. So this thing came. Oh, it's actually quite heavy. But it's got about a whole entire roll of tape. So yeah, it's pretty insane. So I just off stream, just to let you go, I did cut this open a little bit, just because I had a feeling I was gonna have to like peel this thing like a banana in order to get the box off, because it's crazy. They put so much tape on this thing. The box is actually like squeezed to like the foam on the inside. So we're gonna peel this thing and hopefully get it going. So how's everybody today? George, I saw you. What was it, last night? What's today? Thursday? Tuesday? George just recently got his new A1 bed in. Oh, you had to work today? Me too. The day job. So, okay. Well, let's start getting this going. So, this thing is pretty neat. I don't know if you guys know anything about this printer, or have heard about it. It's pretty unknown, but it's by a company called Infimech, and Infimech is essentially the U.S. sister company of Flying Bear. So Flying Bear makes various enclosed CoreXY machines, low cost. Yeah, that I think a lot of people are pretty happy with that A1 bed coming and having their A1s back. So, but this is sister company of Flying Bear. This is the first one through Infimech. And what Infimech is it's going to be Flying Bear's US based versions. So they're still gonna sell the Flying Bear machines, but the Flying Bear machines are really, and you can still buy them in the US, but they're really only being marketed to China and Russian markets. So this is for targeting the US. So this is the first one, and they do have a Flying Bear version of this coming out, and I think it's called the Flying Bear S1, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So, and the crazy thing about this machine is that it's an enclosed CoreXY printer, and it's $299. So that's pretty inexpensive. Now they have had to strip some bells and whistles out of this thing, which we'll talk about, but really not a lot. It's still pretty good value for what you're paying. The only other one of these I have seen is Feder. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Feder, but Feder is 3D Print OS on YouTube. And he has a pretty good relationship with Flying Bear. I think he's unboxed and shown some of their machines in the past. And they sent him one of these as well that he unboxed on live YouTube probably 3 weeks ago, something like that. So just so you guys know, I did not get this from Infimech. I paid for this with my own money. I've been waiting for this for 3 weeks or so, or since Fedder's stream. No thing. I do have an affiliate link in Twitch that you guys can look at if you are interested in getting this. They are available. I think they have about 70 or so of these machines left. So there is an affiliate link. Like I said, doesn't cost you guys anything. I get a little bit of kickback, but again, don't worry. No, either way, no pressure, but does help a little bit if you guys are interested in picking one of these up. So again, some paperwork, an instruction manual that we are going to follow to the letter. Probably not, but we'll try. So actually, George, you kind of poked fun at this a little bit Tuesday, was it? Whenever you and I were talking last, maybe in Discord, about this. So these printers come in, they're enclosed, right? But instead of a glass top or a plastic top like you get on like the Bambu machines, or like this Cheaty X Max, you get this, and it's basically a fabric top pad. It's kind of hard, but it is fabric that sits on the top. Hey, New Canadian Republic, welcome. Thank you for following. That's great. Welcome, and good to have you. So, and like I said, it is fabric. I'm on the same fence as Fedder. I think these are great. They're a little silly yet, and they do kind of look like a grocery bag, or like, you know, a bag you take to Walmart. But I actually kind of like these because at least on these machines, because they're nice and tall. They're well insulated, so it keeps the heat in. But they're nice and tall. You don't have the PTFE tube or any of the wiring or any of the cable chains rubbing on the glass or on the tops like you do, like the K1, the K1 here. Most people print risers for this because the cable and the tube run along the glass, and it actually scratches it up pretty good. And it's kind of annoying, and it makes you kind of nervous that something's going to fetch up and mess up a print. So a lot of people print risers for that, but you don't have to do that with these, because I mean, these are like 6 inches tall, and it's great. I actually like them. I know a lot of people might not, but I might have to set this down. I'm going to set this down on the ground here, because it's actually significantly heavy. But then I think it's heavier than the K1. It has a pretty robust frame with it. It does not have. I was actually kind of nervous about the glass on this because of how it was packaged. It does not have traditional extrusions. It is. Where's the front? Let's see. The door is intact. So it doesn't. They are aluminum. The frame is aluminum, but it is not a traditional like 20/20 extrusion or 30/30 or anything like that. So if like you were doing upgrades or adding stuff to it, you know, it's not going to be like other machines like a Voron or something like that. But you get that with the K1 and the Cheaties and stuff like that. The Bambus, I mean, none of them are extrusion based. So so that's it. I have to say, it's heavy. It's actually very heavy. These here are really solid. This is like an angled aluminum frame, and it's rugged. But so we're gonna open this up. So it is a full glass door, but it's kind of neat. It's really heavy, so I'm just gonna open that up just so I can get the foam and stuff out of it. But one thing with this, I know it's only $2.99, and a lot of people are gonna like that price. It is smaller. It is I mean, it's traditional like ender size, 220 by 220 by, I think it's 245, something like that. It's a lot taller, but you know, it's not huge. But they do send, well, they send filament. There's not much there. And it does have spool holder. Comes with a spool holder cable. The spool holder is on the back on this. That's is what it is. I don't like them. Nobody likes them. But they are. It is on the back. So right over here, spool holder. Does have a filament runout sensor. These openings here, these octagon openings are for the optional air filter. So it does have a carbon filter that exhausts out through a carbon filter. And I think the addition, if you want to add it, it's like $20 from Infimech. That, again, one of the things that they cut just to bring the cost down, but for $20. And then also a camera. It does have a place for a camera mount up here. And that is, again, I think it's $25, something like that. So it's really the added costs, or the things that they had to take away to bring the cost down are really not that expensive if you want to add them later. So I wasn't really worried about that. So, but let me try. They pack quite a bit of foam into this thing. The one thing I did know is that they don't. There are no screws in the bed like this for this one, like there are. You know, I think when you get like my Cheaty, the K1, they all come with screws that hold the bed down for travel. This doesn't. They're kind of just. It's kind of wedged in there with this foam packing material. So, let's see. It does come there. Yeah, see, Flying Bear. So, comes with that. Comes with all your traditional stuff. Zip ties, scraper. Does come with snips, which I'm actually going to use because the hot end does have the tool head up here is held down with zip ties, so we're going to. And it does have, this actually was the same one as what came on Fetter's little calibration cube. I don't know if you guys can see that real good, but it's actually really good. Looks very similar to what his was. Same filament color, but it looks good. Got no complaints with that. If it prints as well as this cube does, then yay. So let's get that over there. Let me kind of flip this around so you guys can see the inside of it. All right, it's kind of heavy. All right, so that's what the inside looks like. So it's really cool. What I actually like about it. So actually, let me kind of move this down a little. So this is your electronics box. So it opens up from. It does have an MKS skipper board in it, or a version of the MK skipper. Maker-based electronics, which I think all of the Flying Bear printers have maker-based electronics. But what's cool about this printer is that's the power switch, which I love on this machine. So yes, the spool holder's on the back, filament runout sensors on the back. You do have to feed the filament in through the back here, through the runout sensor, but the power switch is on the front. And that's, I find, awesome. I think every printer should come with that. It has a magnetic build plate, and it does have little tabs on the back. They are very shallow though, so if you're going into that bed, you might go right over the top of them. They only stick up a tiny bit, so that's kind of strange. But we're gonna unclip this tool head here. So the other thing that I found really interesting about this for the price was that you know, it's obviously direct drive, but it has this, I think it's the same extruder that's on like their Flying Bear Reborn 2 or something like that, but it's a 12-to-1 gear ratio, and let me get you guys up here. So it's a 12-to-1 gear ratio on this extruder, or 12.5-to-1, and they're like dual. They like an LGX or a Bondtech LGX clone gear, but it seems built really nice, and they tend to work really well. So let's move this around. The other cool thing about this is, let's get you in a little closer. Other cool thing about this is supposed to be magnetic. Yep. So that whole thing comes off with magnets. So you can get right in there to get to the tool head. I don't know how well you guys can see that or not. Darker than I would like, but let's hold on. Let me get a flashlight here. Kind of dark inside there, but so right there, it is like it's like a, I don't know, a bamboo style heat block on it, and it's seems really nice. I don't think we're gonna have any problem with that. It claims like a, I think 30 millimeters cubed flow rate. And I doubt that. I bet if you test it, you're probably more around like 16 to 18. I'm going to test that to fully find out. But if it is 16 or 18, that'd be great. If it's anything higher than that, great. So the only thing else we've got to connect is here. As far as setup goes, Bowden tube. So it does have a reverse Bowden tube. It snaps down in like that. I'm gonna see if it came with a coupler. A little. Does come with a USB. We'll see what's on that. I think most likely the all of the print files are probably on are probably already on the machine too. It does run Clipper, and it runs like full. Oh, my cat wants to get up. Hold on. It does run Clipper, like a full install of Clipper. I think on Fetter's machine, it was version 10, I think. Might have been 12, I can't remember, but it was pretty close to being fully up to date. So let's see here. So install is pretty easy. Like I said, Bowden tube, take out all the foam. There's a couple small screws here and little O-rings, and I think that is for the door handle. So we'll get the door handle put on. So are any of you guys familiar with this printer prior to either my or Fetter's streams? Or Flying Bear, I guess. Not Matt. Matt, do you have Bambu machines, right? I think I've heard you say a few times on Twitter. No. Well, we're gonna I really want to go get my other tools, but I'm gonna actually put this on with the stuff they supply. It's not the highest quality tool set. They kind of just give you like the standard Allen wrenches. So, but we're gonna use them. Yeah, the X1C. Yeah, the you know, I've had the A1 Mini, I've had the P1P and the P1S, but I don't have an X1C. Never had an X1C. I've thought about it, but I like the P1S so much that I guess I never figured I needed to get an X1. Not worth the extra. That's what I've heard. You know, I've heard a lot from people about the X1 just not being worth the extra money. But I know the LiDAR has been kind of iffy on it. Rum Race, you've used the K1, yeah. I do have a K1. I haven't picked up a K1 Max yet. Really felt the need to, especially where I have the Cheaty X Max 3, and that thing's a beast. So I haven't really needed the bigger size, but oh yeah, because that geez, how long ago was that, Matt? That the X, has that thing been out a year and a half now, or more than a year and a half, maybe 2? I feel like the X1 on that Kickstarter came out quite a while ago. Yeah. That's crazy. Sometimes I feel like Bambu's been around forever, and then other times I'm like, they really haven't. So these screws, none of these Allen wrenches fit these screws. They're all like, send screws without Allen wrenches. So I'm going into my tool stash to grab something that fits. Yeah, so the screws that they sent for the little M3 screws that they sent for the handle are 2.5 millimeter, and they didn't send a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench. So if you do get one of these machines, make sure you have a 2.5 millimeter Allen key or no handle. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people say, you know, a lot of stuff about bed slingers and all that, but from the difference between the P1P and the P1S, I said for $100 extra, I don't know why you might buy a P1P unless you just really need to save that extra $100, because the P1S is just better. But unless you need to print enclosed ASA, ABS, PC, whatever else you're going to be printing, I would go with an A1. They're way like the Mini here. That thing is dead silent, and the A1 is just as quiet. And the P1P and the P1S, I mean, the P1S is a little bit quieter just because it's enclosed, but it is loud. Like, it's obnoxiously loud. Like the K1 it is as well. The K1, it's loud. You know, it's beyond the whole like, oh, it's just doing something, and it's not just noise fan. Like, the whole thing is loud. Yeah, they're just, I think they're all just crazy loud, and I don't understand. I never understand why people knock bed slingers so much, because the bed slingers, I mean, you can print a lot of stuff on it, like that Wuxen right here. So hey, say hi to my baby Yoda. The Wuxen here. So this is the Wuxen WXR. And when it came out, it was quite expensive. You know, it was like $850 for a bed slinger. That's quite expensive. but they were referring to this thing as a bed slayer because it comes with Slice Engineering Copperhead hot end. Like this thing's a premium printer. So for $850, it was a little bit expensive, but now they're down to like $650. So at $650, this thing is I think is worth it. You know, it might be a little expensive for some people, but yeah, the MK4. We actually just had a guy at my local makerspace that apparently picked one up, and I loved my MKS3 Plus. I bought that as a kit and assembled it, and it's quite a job to assemble one of those, but I enjoyed it, and I would really like to someday pick up an MK4. It's on the list of some to pick up, but we'll see at some point. So I mean, literally the only thing there is to bolt onto this thing is the door handle and then the screen. So it does come with, let's see, what is this for a screen? Doesn't say. Pretty good size. But yeah, let's go back down here so you guys can see the screen here. Sorry if I'm knocking you all over the place. So the screen, there's like a little plug here, and with my, I don't have too big of hands, but it's kind of a tight fit in there. Get that, so get that plugged in, and then there's two screws right there that we're gonna, hopefully they're not 2.5, they're 2mm, but I'm getting my other one. So the screen kind of screws right onto these two little, just kind of back these out a little bit. And we're gonna slide, oh, tuck the cable in there. Kind of have to get that blind. It's not easy to find the screws once you get in there. So my plan was to open this thing up to see the inside, but there's really not a whole lot in there. So there is the MKS skipper board, and then, oh, that thing does not go on there easy. So there's the MKS skipper board, and then it's got, I think, a 360 watt power supply, but there's nothing really too special about it inside. Slide this a little bit just so I can get my trusty flashlight, because they don't make the screen easy to go on. And have to, like, there's two little screws that are already in there that you back out and they kind of pinch onto the frame, but once you get the screen on there, you're kind of blind. Where are you? So far, my only unhappy thing is how you put the screen on. I think that probably could have been better. Probably could have just put like a couple external screws from underneath. So, I don't know. That thing will not tighten up in there. Well, let's see. Let's see what the directions say, but it says to loosen those up. Yeah, loosen the M3x30 screws first, affix the screen, and then tighten the screws. But we can't. We have to go more with them. Okay, let's go more. I think maybe the case around the screen was a little thicker than I thought. Yeah, I think everything in that MK4 is just really nice. And they really came a long way with their firmware. Yeah, I've had the 400. I've had the FLSun, the V400, and I've had the Super Racer. Actually, I liked them both. So Rum Race, I know you're an FLSun guy. What do you think about the S1 and the T1? Okay, so that screen's on there now. Yes, the skipper board is 32-bit. Oh, well, it was switch was already powered on. So plugged it in and it powered on. So guess what? We're power. That's great. So I like that the switch is in the front, but it already came powered on. Either that or somehow I flipped it when I was messing around with that screen. Yeah, the MKS skipper. I think all the MKS boards, like the Robin, I think even the Robin Nano from like version 1.3 or something up was 32-bit. I'm not 100% sure, but so it's asking English, which, yep, we want English. We're going to click next. Please remove the nozzle tip ties. Clear any excess package material, which we did. So they give you a couple different notifications of making sure you remove all the packing material, because well, George was probably the only one here, but when I was unboxing the Creality, the Ender 3 V3, which is over there, there was like a piece of foam that was tucked between the two X rails on the gantry on the other side of the tool head that I didn't notice, and we started printing the benchy, and it printed fine, but that piece of foam stayed in there the whole time until I noticed it kind of like flopping around. But okay, so so I am not, so right now it's asking about the Wi-Fi, so I'm not going to add it to my Wi-Fi yet, only because I don't think this does automatic updates, and I believe their recommendation with this is the updates, they prefer to go on a micro SD card, and you actually have to take the screen off and you put the card in the screen and update the firmware that way, because this doesn't use clipper screen, which I was kind of upset about. I kind of wish that it came with clipper screen. It is kind of their own thing, which is fine. Like the Flying Bear printers are the same, and the UIs were always fine. It's not similar, like Two Trees is one of those ones where they've done that too, but they've had some problems with how the firmware and how the screens run. I haven't seen that with them, so it's a pretty decent screen. So let's see if they have any configuration steps in here after you put everything together. Nothing. So it does say that there's a first startup tutorial. There's a QR code in here that you can scan, but we are not going to do that. We are just going to come in. So we are English. You know what? I am going to put it on the. I'm going to move this around. Okay. I'm going to put it on my Wi-Fi because I want to look at. I want to look at the Clipper and I want to look at the Clipper config. So let's get this on the Wi-Fi on the network here. Now, if we can get back to that. There we go. Okay. So the buttons on the screen are small. So most likely, once I'm one, I don't know about you guys, but I'm one that I really like Clipper because I'm not much of a screen. I want to be able to sit at my computer, slice a file, send it to my printer through Clipper. I'm not one that really cares about printers having screens. They're nice to have, obviously, but they're not like a deal breaker for me. So, like I actually just recently unboxed the M5C from Infimech, and did have an issue with that with like the V rollers. They were over tightened. They had been sitting for a while, so they were all flat. I wasn't real upset with that thing not having a screen like a lot of people are. It doesn't bother me a bit. Now I know that that's app dependent, and that's kind of a bummer, but at least you can print from it without using the app. You just have to, put the file on the SD card, and then the one button on it you press, and it basically prints the last file on the SD card. Yeah, the reprinting is nice. Now the benefit of like the Infimech, like the M5C, where those don't have a screen, you can set the button up where when you print it, once a file finishes, you can set the button up where it's like you press the button twice and it'll just auto print the last file. So it still has kind of that functionality, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, reprint is nice if you're going to be doing a lot of them. I'm typically always at my computer, so sending them from the Clipper web UI hasn't always been a problem. So okay, so we're now on the Wi-Fi. It does have a nice light in it. Man, that thing is heavy. I'm gonna shut the screen so I don't have an Uncle Jesse moment here. But it does have a nice screen. So we're on the Wi-Fi now. Let's take a look at the web GUI. second here. You guys set up with a view so we can see the web GUI. Yeah. Find the IP. Actually, I think if we go in here, it'll give us the IP. Yep. All right, so it is fluid. Let me yeah, I liked the Super Racer screen. I loved that little like coiled cable along the side. That thing was great. Yeah, the what was that? The V400 was the speeder pad, right? And that you could add you could get with basically add with any printer. But I actually used this. I did get another speeder pad that I used with the Super Racer, and it works good. I liked it. I didn't really have a problem with it. I know some people had problems with like the connection of it between the printers, but I never had a problem. So it is fluid. Let's see if it homes. So if this is anything like Fetter's, they had printed a file. So obviously we had a printed file. You know, this calibration cube. So his was fully pre-calibrated. He did no calibration prior to the first print. Input shaper was calibrated. It calibrates Z offset. This printer does actually have pressure sensors in the bed, 4 of them. So it does do auto Z offset, which is really nice. So let's take a look and see if, ooh, what is that? Okay. So max Z acceleration 700, max acceleration 20,000, max velocity 600. Kind of okay with that. Kind of standard clipper config. Is anything different? This is a 24 volt bed. It is not mains power. Really what I want to do is I want to scroll all the way down to the bottom because I want to see. Yeah, so PID, input shaper values. So PID for extruder and bed mesh. So similar to Fetter's, it looks like this one here. They've pre-calibrated. So what do you say? Let's get their filament out because I will not use the filament sent, but with this one I'm going to. Oh, like the speeder pad from the SR to the 400. So this, I believe we're gonna actually let me throw in. Let's see, I think you mean with this one here, this Infimech? So I think it's they send it with an Orca slicer profile. So I'm not 100% sure. We'll actually we'll check that, but I'm pretty sure it comes with an Orca slicer profile. But I don't remember on Fetter's stream if he checked that or not. Basically, if I remember right, he just kind of printed the test files based, that were on the machine and called it good. So the only thing, the one thing weird about this is that the spool holder you kind of have to put through, and then a nut on the back. And I'm gonna see if I can get my hand in here. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Okay, spool holder's on. So let's I'm gonna do it from the screen, even though I said that I'm not a screen person. But let's see. I wanted to see if they had presets or anything. Nope. Let's see. What do they have for macros? I to be honest, Orca, I was a Prusa slicer guy. Like I remember back when I had like my MK2, and then my MK3S Plus. I had 2 Prusas. I had like 4 MK3S Pluses, and I was Prusa. I loved Prusa slicer. Cura used for some machines, mainly like some Creality machines back in the day when everything was like Ender 3s and SCR10s and all that. But when Orca came out, it was really nice, and it had some issues at first, but I'm probably 95% Orca for all of my profiles, for all of my printers. There's a handful of printers, obviously. I even use Orca for like my Bambu printers. The one that I don't, hey Zombie, how are you? Thanks for coming, good to see you. So the one printer that I think I don't use Orca on, and I actually think, now that I think about it, there's only one, and it's the Wuxen. The Wuxen WXR, I use their version of Cura. I know, and I don't know why I do. I just never, I never wanted to go through. It prints so good with their profiles. I've tweaked them a little bit, but it prints so good that I've just never gone through and built profiles for it in Orca. I don't know if anybody else has. I know they have a Prusa profile too, but yeah, it has printed so good. Like I have never done anything with that machine. Like, yes, it's a $650 bed slinger now, $850 when it first came out. But that slice engineering, I mean, the thing comes with Noctua fans on it and a slice engineering copperhead. Slice engineering. It's just a really high, I mean, it's a premium bed slinger. They call it a bed slayer, but it's always printed so good that I've never done anything with it. So it just it is what it is, and I've just left it. But so we're trying to figure out, let's see. Oh, so I don't like that. What's this auto thing? Okay, so that's feed. I mean, the touchscreen isn't great, but it's not awful. It's not ultra responsive. Okay, so I'm just gonna preheat it from the. I wanted to see if it had like load and unload from the screen here. Oh, it does. Okay. All right, so we'll just feed this. Zombie, have you seen anything about this printer yet? It's actually kind of cool. I was super impressed with it on Fetter's stream, so I was like, I gotta try to get one of those. Oh, PTF is tight. Ow. Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's really heavy. Like I remember Fetter saying like it was a robust printer, and it's fully aluminum framed. It's all aluminum extrusion. It's not standard like 20 or 30 or anything like that. They're like fully custom extrusions, but it's like I had a hard time lifting it on the table. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, you know, they didn't put the carbon filter, air filter on the back. That is an option. I think it's like $25 if you want to add it. It doesn't come with the camera. The Flying Bear version of this will come with the camera. But I think you're like $550 for that version, and this is $299. So you can add both of those for like less than $50 probably with shipping. And I literally think that's the only thing they have left off this. And it's pretty good. I mean, the size isn't great. I mean, it's only 220 by 220. But what the heck? For $299. Auto. Let me see. So it looks like they tested it with yellow. I don't know if Zombie was here at the time, but oh well, you guys can't. Let me go back to the. Hold on one sec here. So this is the calibration cue that they sent with it. Same thing that basically Feder saw, same color. Just extruding some plastic through it, but yeah, the yellow. I didn't see. There are literally the one thing that's kind of weird with this is there's no macros. Wait, okay, there are. I used to. Okay, so there are some macros with it. Some load and unload, auto leveling, bed mesh. This did Zombie. I don't think you were here when we looked through the printer the printer config file, but this is same as Feder's. Feder unboxed it, put filament in it, and just printed it. So they had a like full configuration on this prior to PID, bed mesh. Everything was basically all set. So he just kind of printed it, and it printed pretty good. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. So when you set it up, put the handle on, you mount the screen. I was kind of nervous here because his had a clear mark on the box. This had like a standard like 220 or 110 on the. So I haven't looked at it. I heard it comes with an Orca profile, but I haven't seen that yet. Let's see. Does it have any? Oh, I was trying to look on the history too to see if they had any files printed, but I think they probably cleared the history before. So we're gonna put. The other thing that I actually liked is this is the power button, and I actually really like that. It's on the front of the machine. Like I think if more companies could do that, that would be cool. So. We're going to put the SD in, and we're going to. I still can't get used to these. I can't get used to this. Like it's like settings and settings. Which I think this is like print. I'm looking for the files. There, no. There. Here, right? Where are you? So, oh, right there. So, you actually touch where the temperature is. So we have, let's see. Flexi Rex improved, hexagonal bridge, high speed benchy, standard speed benchy. I can't see the times on them though. High speed benchy? Everybody okay with a high speed benchy? I'm gonna press high-speed benchy unless everybody screams no. We're gonna go high-speed benchy. So this is supposed to display images. So that's kind of neat. It'd be kind of neat if you could actually like scroll around with that image, but you can't. I kind of wish that this had clipper screen on it. Let me go back to so you guys can see. I kind of wish it had clipper screen, but it's got their own kind of thing, and hopefully it's better long term than like Two Trees. Their screens that they used to do were kind of wonky, but a clipper screen would have been nice. You can, I think you can buy an additional like 5 or 7 inch screen with this that they sell that gives you clipper screen, but I thought I remember seeing that. I'll have to check on that, but whoa. That was speedy. So after this, I'm assuming everybody in here is gonna go directly into Zombie's stream. Zombie, are you streaming at 10? So I tried to do mine from 8 to 10. That way I could still go to yours. Yeah. What's going on tonight? Anything? Well, I'm assuming things fun. Hopefully more wild tool changer stuff. Wing it. Weren't you having an issue with senseless homing on the Y or something? Said you were going to put an end stop in temporarily or while you asked for thoughts on that on Twitter, and I was like, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I've never seen that happen. I think I've got 3 or 4 printers running with senseless homing, but I've never had a single axis stop working. Had all of them not work, but I should probably pay attention with my finger on the button in case it starts driving the nozzle into the bed. So like I said, this does have 4 load cell sensors in the bed. So it does do auto Z and oh, did that just? Let me see. Yeah. Back here. Let me get back. See if you guys can get in on that. Probably crooked. I gotta get a different stand for this camera because this thing is awful. Hey, Plunk, thanks for the follow. That's great. Thanks, appreciate it. I do have my first Twitch goal of trying to reach 50 followers. So everybody's been super helpful. I think before the stream we were at like roughly 27, which was kind of fun. So. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to it. It's all injection molded. The cool thing is that the fan shroud on the bottom just pulls off with magnets. But it's kind of like a Bambu style hot end. Nothing fancy. They claim, hey Glendon, Thanks for the follow. Hesliz. Hey, guys. Great to see you. Uh-oh, what's going on with the P1S? I actually just recently got mine back. I had passed it on to someone, but they no longer wanted it. So I got it back. But yeah, it's got a like a bamboo style hot end in it. And then this extruder is similar. I think it's the same one that's on their the Flying Bear version, and I think it's the Reborn 2 that has this same extruder, and it has like big dual kind of like clone Bondtech LGX gears in it. But I like the clear front that they put on all of them because it's easy to see if something goes wonky. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys probably weren't here at the beginning of the stream where I talked about where this came from, but this Infimech is basically a Flying Bear. So Infimech is the sister company of Flying Bear, and essentially what's happening is you can still buy Flying Bears in the US, but the thing's moving. You can still buy Flying Bears in the US, but they're primarily only marketing Flying Bears to the Chinese and Russian markets. And then Infimech is going to be like their US version. So Flying Bear is coming out with this same exact printer. I don't think it's called the Flying Bear TX. I think it's called the Flying Bear S1, maybe. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. Things like shaking my desk. This thing's quite violent. It did say speed benchy, but it's yeah, it's like literally shaking my desk. Wow. I've got to like solidify this desk before I run one of these again. Next time it runs, it'll be over on one of the racks. But yeah, it's I think it's cubic. Can't really. Well, no, it's not cubic. I can't tell. I don't know what kind it is. But I'm curious about the profile that they come with. Like, I think it's supposed to come with with an Orca profile, which I will look at some point. But tonight I just kind of wanted to get it out in printing and see if it printed as good as Fetters did, because I was super impressed with it when I saw it on Fetters stream. So I was like, let's get one of those. And it's black filament, so I couldn't really see the first layer that well, but it seemed okay. It hasn't come loose yet, so that's good. All right, Zombie, I'll be there. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Yeah, like the googly eyes right on the tool head there, because it's I'm gonna look at the G code on this speed benching, because it said it didn't give me a time. It says 20. It says 23 minutes, but I don't know. I think it's going to be quicker than that. Yeah, in Clipper it says 23 minutes, but it's literally shaking my desk. My desk is walking across the floor. I mean, but for $299, it's moving. Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to see because it's black filament, but like the sidewall looks decent on it. If it doesn't tip over my desk. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's I don't know the actual weight on it. So the shipping box, which I don't trust entirely, says 18 kilograms. I have no clue what that is in pounds. There's no tag on the back that says anything about the weight. Oh, so there's a tag right here that says the weight is 15 kilograms. So what's 15 kilograms in pounds? If anybody wants to. I know it's heavy. $42 pounds? Yeah. Yeah, it felt like 42 pounds when I picked it up. I'm literally like holding the desk because I don't know how well it's coming across on the camera. The camera's probably shaking with it, but like it's significantly rocking this desk. My tea is cold by now, but it's still good. Green tea with honey. Yeah, you know, I've never done. Matt? Do you know who started that googly eye thing? I've been seeing that forever, but I've actually never done it to any of my printers. But I've seen it a bunch of times. But I remember seeing it like years and years ago. I don't know if it was like Joel or. I know it's gonna live on a rack like this, and these racks are pretty rugged. So the K on this one here on the bottom is a K1 and a GDX Max 3, and with both of those going, it doesn't move the shelf. It like rocks the shelf, but it's like these shelves are pretty rugged. Can you guys hear anything on this? Like I'm not good with audio, but I got some noise cancellation on this. I didn't know how much of this you'd be able to hear, but it's actually not that loud. Like you're getting some quick sounds from like the bearings on the rods, and you're getting some fan noise. But I mean, most of the noise that I'm actually hearing is from it literally shaking a table. But it's not that bad. I'm actually quite impressed with how fast it's going and quiet it's printing. So one other thing that I noticed on this is that the feet on the bottom here, it has these rubber feet, almost like what's on the K1, but a little bit smaller, but they're printed. They're printed TPU, which I think is awesome. Yeah, and this, like, I don't know if you guys can see up in here, but this has a different, instead of having like the vertical, the rods vertical on the X gantry, they're kind of laid down horizontal, similar to what like you used to see. I've got an Ultimaker 2 Plus down here. So what you used to see on the Ultimaker 2 Plus is how this is. Oh yeah, like was it the V400? I don't remember what was on the V400. I had the V400, but I don't know if I ever. The thing was so big, I don't know if I ever actually flipped the thing over to look at the feet. Man, that thing was massive. Like I remember when I got the Super Racer. Like I thought the Super Racer was a big Delta, and then I got the 400, and I was like, that's a big printer. I had a hard time finding a place to put it because all my shelves, so all my racks like this are like roughly like between 30 and 32 inches from here, and the V400 fit nowhere. Oh yeah, yeah. Because if I remember right, those. Well, they have the three big giant extrusion uprights, and then the bottom, like on the Super Racer, like the bottom was all kind of like a stamp folded steel base, and then it had the feet screw to it. I can't remember the 400 one. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I had it actually on a. So what did I had it was a low table, almost like an IKEA, like the IKEA lap table, something like that. But it was more rugged. But then I printed these braces to like stiffen up the legs, and I cut the legs to lower it down. And then I had like a 2 foot by 2 foot concrete paver on the top of it, and that's what the 400 set on. So let's see. We are at total print time right now is 15 minutes and 45 seconds. So, I mean, maybe the 23 minutes was right. It seemed like it was going a lot faster than that, but I will say the quality seems decent. And I don't really trust this filament. It's kind of like no-name black PLA. Oh, your table's 18 inches tall? Yeah, I know that's probably about mine. So I'm roughly 6 feet tall, and I think my V400 with the table was like probably the top of it was almost well, not quite eye level, maybe like my chin. So yeah, it was probably about that, between 16 and 18 inches tall maybe, because the paver was 2 inches. The top of the table was like 2, and then the legs were probably 8. So actually mine was probably only about 12 to 14. I wanted it low to the ground because, man, that thing, I was always nervous I put it on something wobbly, the thing would flip itself right off the table. Because I think at the time, when I got the V400, I got the V400 before any of the Bambu machines came out, before the K1, before the GDX Max. Like, I think at the time it was like the fastest. I mean, it was easily the fastest printer I had. But that thing flew. Yeah. And it was fun to watch. I actually missed that printer. I like watching Deltas print. Yeah, it's fun. It's just like I can watch most printers print. Like I just enjoy watching 3D printers, operate. But for something like the Deltas, they're just fun to watch. They look cool when they print. Like I can see why Mitch likes Deltas so much, because they're fun. I want to do one of the Rollahan, the printed mini Delta that he did, because that's what that's the Rollahan, the Rook MK1, and I've got everything to do, like the Rook 2020, the Rook MK2. I've got everything printed. The Panda. I've got all the stuff to put all of those printers together. I just haven't had the time. But that one there was really fun to do, and I want to do that Delta. That thing looks fun. But the this here is what I'm gonna finish next bearing. So I've got a couple parts coming for this just to finish this up because it's been up here forever. But this is the 100. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called the 100. The guy's name that did it is Matt. Can't remember his last name, but he's like really smart. And he did this, and it's like the fastest full. I mean, this thing's like all 3D printed. Like the whole frame is 3D printed, and it's really cool. So that's the one I'm gonna finish up here. I'm gonna see how well this. So that is significantly stuck. Oh, popped off. So can you guys? I'm gonna try to block this. It actually had a very decent first layer. A little low. Looks a little low, but it's not bad. The front is a little bit of cooling issue on the front. So I don't know how well the cooling is on this, but that benchy doesn't look bad for how fast it was moving. It was only 20 minutes. 20 minutes and 26 seconds. So not the fastest benchy, but decent quality. Let's see. The looks like cooling could be better. Cooling on the front. Like I said, the offset, it's a little low. Got a little bit of a issue on the tops of the windows there. So cooling isn't the best, but I don't know what it has. Here, actually, let's power that off real quick. I don't know what it has for cool. Oh, so it looks like I think they're 4010 blower fans. It's got 2 of them. Cooling should be good, but and again, it might have just been the sheer speed that it was running at. But do you see what I just did there? So I was about to flip that printer back on, and I reached around the back to try to find the switch, and it's right up front here. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about that benchy? It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. If you're someone who does not have an enclosed CoreXY and you want to get into an enclosed CoreXY, this might be the way to go. It's actually a really nice printer. I actually like it a lot. You know, it's obviously not perfect, but I'm gonna actually start another print here. I want to see what the standard speed benchy, and I won't obviously keep the stream going this long because this is probably going to be you know, a longer print, but I want to see what the what it does, the quality of a standard speed, you know, not like ramped way up. So we actually didn't put the top on it. So we had seen before, right? This here, right? So I think George, if George is still here, George referred to it as like the shopping bag. And I not gonna lie, I like it. I'm on board with Feder. So it's got this like hard top and it has Velcro. So you just kind of set that in the bottom. That kind of all gets Velcro together. So now the sides and the top are hard, soft, whatever. And then it goes on the back. I gotta peel gotta peel this tape off. You gotta peel the tape off. You go like this. Even it up. Yeah. And then there's a little tape on the side. So it has tape on the Velcro, but then it just like the Velcro just comes off to take the top off, which I'm gonna do because I'm printing PLA and I don't want the top on. But okay. So we're gonna take that off. Grab that little booger there. Look at that, George. It's got a top. Infimech. What's wrong with that? Nice solid top. But look how tall it is, right? You don't have to worry about anything hitting it. And then when you're printing PLA, just pops off. And you can actually just kind of like let it hang on the back, or you can just pull it off. I'll probably just let it, so it's going to be in here on another rack that's a little bit taller, and it's just going to go whoop. Probably just flip up. We got to straighten up this Velcro back here. I kind of put it on all wonky. Shopping bag. It is, but it does the trick, right? It does the trick, and it's a $299 printer, right? So you got to cut costs somewhere, and an injection molded plastic top or a glass top like the front might have been, you know, added another $100 to the printer or whatever. So this, I mean, functional. I mean, and it actually is insulated, so for temperature, but plus none of this hits. All of that clears it just fine. So I like it. And then this has a really nice flat top to it. So if you wanted to take some 20/20 extrusion or 30/30 extrusion or whatever you have, I've got tons of like 20/20 laying around after building this thing that you know, I could build one with actual hinges, make a nice top for it. In a cat tent. It is. I actually, you know what? I have 2 cats, and I bet if I lay this out, that one of them is going to find this pretty quick and lay directly inside of it. It could also double as a cat bed. If you print mostly PLA, you may not have it on, and then your cats could benefit from a bed. See, I think who else has cats that I know? Alan from Mandic. Alan Mandic really. His cat is always on his stream. He needs one of these so he can have an extra cat bed. What is that? Yeah, see? Data mine. 100% cat bed. Data mine's a cat lover. My I've been using I use Streamlabs for streaming, and my it doesn't update for what, so I can never see who's in or who's joined. It's always I always have to like actually go in and hit the button, or else it doesn't update. I have to switch to like Stream Elements or something. So let's see, this one here is going to be, so this says 34 minutes, and I probably won't obviously keep you guys the whole time. That's a pretty good first layer. It's a little bit low. We saw on the first benchy, you know, it's a little bit low. There's a little bit of an elephant's foot on that. And the letters, like you're down a little bit too far where the letters, like second layer is almost into that kind of squished down. So it's not, I'm going to run through, this was calibrated from the factory, right? I didn't do anything with it. I took it out and I printed, and it printed this. So if you look in the printer config in Clipper, all of the bed mesh values, the input shaper, PID, everything was pre-tuned, pre-printed. There was yellow filament in this when we extruded it, and this is the test cube that they came with. So I didn't really do anything with it, and it printed good. This was the speed benchy, which was 20 minutes, not the fastest, but it's not bad. This is the standard benchy, which is 34 minutes, which I'm guessing the cooling and the overall print quality on this one's going to be much better. But I'm going to tune this thing myself, just to see. But I don't think you would have to. You might have to raise the offset a little bit. But even that, I mean, it seems to print good. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Some of you guys have been quiet. But for $299, I think it's well worth $299. I would spend that for this printer all day long. And this printer, the way that it's set up, is primed for upgrades or changes or mods or whatever you want to do with it. But if this is your first time ever having an enclosed CoreXY, say you're a PLA and PETG and TPU only person, but you want to start moving into like ASA, ABS, you know, this might be it. It does, the hot end does go to 300C. The bed, I think it says 110. I want to test that, but you know, I think it's a really good printer. So I hope you guys, you know, if you guys go pick it up, if you do, let me know what you think. Like I said, I do have an affiliate link for this in down in the description in Twitch. If you do want it and you do want to give the channel a little kickback, doesn't cost you anything extra, but it is there. If you don't, no problem, no pressure. It's just there to help a little bit. But either way, I would, so far, I was pretty impressed with how this unboxed and set up. It was pretty easy. So thanks everybody for coming. The next stream will be next Wednesday, or next Thursday, sorry. We switched to Thursday night. And we're going to be doing the K1 upgrade on the bed, right? So we got the Gulf Coast Robotics upgraded bed for the K1. So we're going to install that bed, and we're going to talk about the upgrade that I did where we're using the rear filter to filter the air through. Did some testing on that, and I've got some outcomes on it. So it was kind of interesting. So I'll tell you what the results were, and would I recommend doing it, or would I recommend an alternative. So we'll do that next week, and then we're also going to have this out too, and we're going to play with this. I've got more the last few parts for this coming. So after the K1 upgrade, probably the following week, we will start getting this done. So this again is the 100 fully printed 3D printer, and this has this has a pretty interesting extruder on it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that next week. So thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be headed shortly into Zombies stream, so I hope I see most of you guys there. And peace, guys. Thanks.